would seem that the 7 billion people inhabiting planet Earth right now, it's a little bit more than 7 billion, but it would seem that if we were to ask everyone, what is it that you really want? We would get 7 billion answers. There may be some repetition. Some will say, I want not just one thing, I want 2, 3, 4 things. So there'll be billions of answers. But when we ask the scriptures, what is it that I really want? They say that there's only one thing that anyone could ever want. In the Bhagavad Puran, Bhagwan Vedavyas says, Sukhaya karmani karoti loko natai sukham va naduparamam va vindeta bhuyastata eva dukkham yadatra yuktam bhagavan vadena. Bhagwan Vedavyas says, every living creature is searching for happiness and only happiness. There's nothing else. There's no second thing that anyone is ever looking for. Only happiness? Yes. But what about wealth? There are many people running after money. Bhagwan Vedavyas says, the ones who are running after money are actually running after happiness, which they expect to attain from their money. What about those who don't care for money? They just want to have a name, make a name for themselves, name and fame. They want name and fame not for the sake of name and fame. They want to be known to others because they think that name and fame will bring them happiness. We're searching for only one thing in life. We must remember this. Only one thing, happiness. This is quite surprising at first glance because we are such individuals. Even in one family, if there are 2, 3, 4 kids, everyone is different. It's a great likelihood that everyone will be different. Ek pita ke vipul kumara, hohi prithak gunashil achara. One set of parents, same set of parents, 4 kids. And all of them are so different from one another. Not only do they look different from one another, they think very differently from one another. They have their own very personal likes and dislikes, their own preferences, their own favorite color, favorite food, their own set of friends, their own habits, their own idiosyncrasies. We are so different from one another. In this whole creation, in this wonderful creation, there is so much variety. If you just take a walk and you look at a tree, you can't really count them, but there must be at least 1,000 on a very barren sort of tree. There would be fewer, but on a big, thick, lush tree, there must be thousands of leaves. But if you conduct an experiment, you will find that no 2 leaves on that tree are exactly the same. They're going to be different from one another. If you examine a snowflake under the microscope, you'll find that no 2 snowflakes are really the same. They're not exactly the same. They're different. So there is so much variety in this world. And in the midst of all this variety, we have uniformity in that every living creature, not just humans, but every living creature desires only one thing, which is happiness. Sarvesham api bhutanam nipasvatmaiva vallabha itare patyavittadyas tadvallabhatayaivahi. Every living creature wants only happiness. There has to be a reason behind this, and there is. Our scriptures reveal to us the reason why we are all looking for happiness. It could be a little mosquito, or it could be the president of a country. Everyone is searching for happiness. From the moment we get up in the morning till we go to bed at night, we're searching only for happiness. From the moment we are born until the moment we die, we're searching only for happiness. Each and every moment of our life is spent conducting research. Where can I get happiness? How can I be happy? We make friends because we expect them to give us happiness. People get married, they start families. Why? Because they expect that by doing so they will receive happiness. The reason we eat is to become happy. The reason we don't eat is because of happiness. The reason we talk to others is happiness. The reason we don't talk to others is happiness also. The reason we laugh is happiness. We want happiness. The reason we cry is so that we may become happy. We perform all these mutually contradictory actions, but the aim is always just one and the same, and that is happiness. We don't want happiness which will go away from us after some time. We have experienced so much of that happiness. We do know that in this life we've forgotten our previous lives. We have tasted happiness which stayed with us for a second or more, a second or a couple of seconds. We've had happiness which stayed with us for a minute or two. We've had happiness that has stayed with us for hours before disappearing. We've had happiness that lasted for days. And in rare cases, we've had happiness, we've experienced happiness that lasted for a few months. But that's it. The happiness we receive decreases with the passage of time. And then there comes a time when the same thing which made us very happy makes us miserable. The same person who made us so happy is making us miserable. We don't want that kind of happiness. We're not satisfied with that. We don't want happiness that goes away. We want happiness that will stay with us. We want happiness that will stay with us forever and ever. We want happiness that will continue to grow, not decrease. It will continue to grow. We want happiness which is unlimited. Yovai bhuma tat sukham. Chandogya Upanishad says, happiness is bhuma. It is unlimited. It has no limits. We want that happiness. If we were satisfied with the other happiness that goes away from us, we would be very satisfied, but we are not. We're always searching, looking for something more, something more. There's always a happiness which is bigger than the happiness we have. Someone who has been saving enough money to take a flight to a distant land, let's say Indonesia, feels very happy. But as he's boarding the plane, he sees that, well, his seat is way in the back, 45D. It's an economy. It's a perfectly good seat. But as he passes the first class passengers and the business class passengers, his face is dropping. Oh, such a long flight I have. And these people are sitting with such comfort. And my seat is way at the back. I'm going to be squished. And I've got a middle seat. He's not happy anymore because he has seen the first class seat. He has seen the business class seat. So he's not happy anymore with his economy class seat. In India, many people have bicycles. It's not just for recreation, it's a mode of transportation. So a villager has collected enough money to buy a bicycle. And he's really happy. He's a very simple-hearted man. He's got a bicycle and he's so happy because he didn't have money to afford a bike. So he goes to his relatives and he says, I've got a new bicycle. Nayi cycle kharidi hai. Pata hai? Maine nayi cycle kharidi hai. I bought a new cycle, he says. And he tells anyone that he meets that he's bought a new cycle, and he tells them, I got it for 1,000 rupees. He tells everyone. He's so happy about it. He's so excited. But then soon afterwards, he sees someone on a scooter, a motorbike, and he's not happy with his bicycle anymore. He says, oh, I want to be like him. I want to have a motorbike. Let's say that he saves up enough money and after some time he's able to afford a motorbike. And then he's happy for a while until he sees someone riding a car. And he thinks, oh, I want to be in a car. Such a life of comfort, just drive in a car. He's not happy with what he's got. Suppose he buys a car. Then he's happy for some time before he sees someone with a better car, a fancier car. He will never be satisfied because our desires are unending. No matter how much we have, we will still want more. Trishnatu tarunayate. Our desires are becoming ever younger. They're rejuvenating themselves. The body gets worn out, the body becomes old, but there's something inside us that keeps on rejuvenating itself, and that is desire. There's always going to be something we don't have. There's always going to be some happiness that is bigger than ours, so we are not satisfied. But what if we were to receive happiness, which was the biggest? What if we were to receive happiness which was unlimited, everlasting, and ever increasing? Would we be satisfied then? Yes, of course. Because we, meaning I, meaning the soul is not satisfied with anything of the world. So the happiness, what we call happiness, the happiness that we get from eating food that we really like, or wearing clothes that we have just bought, or wearing jewelry that we've just been given, or being with people that we really are attached to, that so-called happiness, there's always something bigger than that. And that happiness tends to decrease with every passing moment. The soul is not satisfied with this. The soul says, I want unlimited happiness. I want everlasting happiness. I don't want happiness that goes away. I don't want happiness that is reduced with every moment that passes. But if we can receive true happiness, unlimited, everlasting, and ever-increasing happiness, then we would not want anything more. And that is what we are looking for. Why are we looking for it? Scriptures tell us that we are all individual souls, and we are part and parcel of God, the Supreme Soul. Mamaivansho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna says, Arjun, all individual souls are my eternal fractions. We are his eternal fractions, his part and parcel. And we see in the world that whenever there is something which is a part of something bigger, for instance, when we see a river, we see that it always flows towards the ocean. That's a law. Every river, that is just a given, that every river flows towards the ocean. Let's say it's the river Ganga. Ganga flows, and it goes continuously. It flows continuously towards Ganga Sagar, the ocean. It could be a river in any part of the world, but every river flows towards the ocean. Why? Because the ocean is the entirety, and the river is a part and parcel of the ocean. And it finds its fulfillment once it merges within the ocean. If we talk about fire, when we light a flame, we see that it rises upwards to be with the sun because it is part and parcel of the sun. If we keep any object of the material world, it could be a pencil, a coin, or anything like that, we grip it tightly, then we loosen the grip, that object will fall towards the earth. It will go towards the earth because it is a part and parcel of the earth. So every fraction has a natural desire to be with its entirety. Every soul, therefore, has a natural desire to be with its entirety. What is the entirety that the soul is part of? That is Brahma, Paramatma, Ishwar, Bhagwan, God. God is the one that we are part and parcel of. So, every soul wants to be with God, whether we know it or not, whether we realize it or not. Every soul wants God. And God is another name for happiness. Anando brahmeti vyajanat anandadhyeva khalvimani bhutani jayante anandena jatani jivanti anandam prayantyabhisamvishanti. Taittiriya Upanishad says that God and happiness are two different names, but the personality is the same. God is happiness. Anandamayobhyasat. Vedanta or Brahma Sutra says the same, that God is unlimited happiness. So why are we always looking for God, for happiness? Because actually we are searching for God. Every living being, every living creature is searching for God. Lokena hi savidyeta yona rama manuvrata. Valmiki Ramayan. Here sage Valmiki says, there is no creature in existence that is not totally surrendered to God. There is no one, there is no living being that does not love God. Even the atheist? Oh yes, even the atheist. Even the one who says God does not exist, even he wants to be with God. You ask him, do you want to be with God? He says, I don't even believe in God. You ask him, do you want happiness? Of course I do. He's naive because he doesn't know that God and happiness are one and the same. It's just like asking a little child, do you love your daddy? Yes, I do. I love my daddy. Do you love your mommy's husband? No, I don't. You don't? No. You love your daddy? Yes. The naive child doesn't know that his daddy and his mommy's husband are one and the same. In the same way, the atheist doesn't realize that happiness and God are one and the same, two different names. So let's understand that we are searching for happiness, no matter who it is, whether we are educated, very educated, or illiterate. We're all searching for happiness. Whether male or female, we're all searching for happiness. Whether we are American or Indian or Canadian or Russian or Japanese, we're all searching for happiness. Whether we are Republicans or Democrats, we're all searching for happiness. Whether we are tall or short or of medium build, we're all searching for happiness. Whether we are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, we're all searching for the same thing. We're all searching for God. Not realizing that we're searching for God, we are searching for happiness all over the world. We do know we're looking for happiness. We do know this much. We are perhaps not aware that that happiness is another name for God, that we are really searching for God. We're searching for that happiness in all the wrong places. We're searching for it in people of this world. We're searching for it in objects of this world, material objects. We're searching for it in different places of this world. We naively say, I didn't find any happiness in this neighborhood. I'm going to move to another neighborhood. I'm going to find myself happiness there. I didn't find any happiness in this country. I'm going to move to another because I'll be really happy. I read somewhere there was a celebrity who's saying, if I could live in one place forever, all my life, I would live in Japan. Why? Because now there's happiness, more happiness in Japan. I suppose that is his thinking. But there's no place that has happiness. There is no object that has happiness. There is no person who has happiness. Happiness is in God. God is happiness. And So, being children of God, Amritasya vai putraha, the Vedas say we're all children of God. Being children of God, being His part and parcel, we're always searching for Him. And because He is another name for happiness, we're always searching for happiness. We just do not know that the happiness we're searching for is unlimited, everlasting, and ever increasing. And what we are rushing towards to attain is temporary happiness that we can get from going to a restaurant, going to a club, going on a vacation, being with our favorite people, getting married, having children, getting a great job. We don't realize where true happiness lies, so we are looking all over. We're like groping in the dark. Maybe I'll find happiness somewhere. And the Vedas, the eternal Vedas, are saying in a trumpet voice that only God can give happiness, because God is happiness. The Vedas and Vedic scriptures have been telling us this since when? Since the time when even time did not exist. Since beginningless time. All we have to do is to lend them an ear and listen carefully and attentively. And then reflect on this truth. And then act accordingly.